Hello everyone, my name's Noah Miller and welcome to the 16U Men's Division 1 Gold Medal Final here at the 2025 Sask Volleyball Provincial Championship. We have the 16U Huskie Premier Team facing off against the 16U Rustlers Gold. Huskies Premier are undefeated at the tournament here, coming in as the #1 seed. They were 4-0 in pool play, including a win over the Rustlers 25-13, 25-16. And they narrowly edged out Summit, defeating them 25-15, 22-25, 15-13 in a close semifinal. Rustlers coming in at the #4 seed. They went 3-1 in pool play, including the loss to Huskies. They defeated Meadow Lake 15-13 in the third set in the quarterfinal. And then they defeated the reigning 15U champions, Estevan Extreme, 18-16 in the semifinal. And for these athletes at this age class, this will be the first time Estevan has not won in the last 4 years. So we will have a new provincial champion at this age class. Officials are happy with the lineups that are in order. We have Rustlers to serve. Number 11, Beckett Rogers, starting us off. Strong pass by the Huskies controlling that first ball, but tipped out of bounds. Point to the Rustlers. And that serve goes long. Number 7, Cohen Cornelius to serve. Good pass and big swing by the Rustlers, controlled and a free ball given back over. A off-speed shot dug over the net back to the Rustlers. And a back row pipe ball. Looks like that was into the net, as the officials will call for 4 contacts on the Rustlers. Cornelius back to serve again. Back to the middle. And number 13, Grayson Bernouf, manages to punch that one through. Point Rustlers. Right side, Caden Fenrick back to serve. That one hits the tape. Garnet Kruger Kennedy back to serve. Drops that one short, picked up by the Rustlers. Tip to the pot. And it looks like the Rustlers were unable to stay on their side of the net. So that point will go to the Huskies. Another big middle swing by number 13. Rustlers doing a great job staying in system and being able to find their middle early in this game. Great pass by the Huskies. Pipe ball dug up by the Rustlers. Free ball sent over. A quick outside set there. Looks like the Huskies just missed that ball long. Zach Brochu to serve. Aggressive serve keeps the Huskies out of system. Joust ball won by the Huskies, but they're going to call 2 contacts on the second ball. Point Rustlers. Brochu to serve again. And that serve goes long. Got middle blocker Rio Witt coming back to serve. So we are tied 5-5 to start this match. They overpass. Scored by Eli Enns. Another strong serve. A ball goes long on that left side attack, point Huskies. A little bit of an inside set, change up there. Huskies try to bring that ball back, but it is called out of bounds. That ball has to be dug on the outside of the antennas in order to bring that back. A high swing by Enns, dug by the Rustlers. Off-speed shot by the Rustlers is handled well. Transitioned into a good middle ball. And that is a kill for number 9, Brody Shukin. Fantastic swing by Cohen Cornelius on the right side there. Great heads up play, picking up that first combination ball run by the Rustlers. And transitioned into a big swing. We're at 9-6 for the Huskies. Setter Calder Smitten to serve. Big swing on that overpass, scored by Beckett Rogers. We got setter Drew Rowan to serve. Pops in a short serve, handled well by setter Calder Smitten to find his middle. Brody Shukin scores again. 10-7 Huskies. Big serve from Enns, handled well. And Lennon Maury over top the block there on that right side. Scored for the Rustlers. And he's back to serve. Aggressive spin serve, keeping the Huskies out of system. Big swing again by Cohen Cornelius. Huskies looking for that ball to be called in. Officials are going to call a touch. Point Huskies. Shukin to serve. A little bit of miscommunication there, dug by the Rustlers. Big swing on the right side by Beckett Rogers. Kruger Kennedy unloading on that left side ball there for the point. Huskies maintain a 12-8 lead. A tip by Brochu. Transitioned into another big swing. An out of system ball by Cornelius, dug by the Rustlers. Got some good back and forth going on here. Big dig from the Rustlers. And the pipe ball just trickling over the net to score on that really good rally we just had there. Both teams showing off some excellent defense. And that right side swing goes wide. Point Rustlers. Rogers to serve. Good pass by Enns. Off-speed shot dug. Overpass swing by the setter. Scored bouncing off that tape. Huskies keeping that lead at 13-10. Tip out of the middle, dug by the Huskies. That back row ball into the net. Fenrick serving for the Rustlers. Another off-speed shot dug by the Rustlers. And returned with a big swing from Kruger Kennedy, scoring again on that left side. He's back to serve. Dropping one in short. Passed over by the Rustlers and flushed down for the point by Enns. Kruger Kennedy doing a great job mixing in a short serve there to keep the Rustlers on their toes. A great pass from the Rustlers, finding that middle. Heads up play by Bernouf, noticing an extra blocker there and tipping it over to that left side position. And that's an ace by Zach Brochu. Serving 15. Tries to change the direction there and serves it out the side. We've got Witt back to serve. Tight pass handled well by the setter for the Rustlers. Another heads up play out of the middle, scoring for Bernouf. He's back to serve now. We're at 16-14. The Huskies maintaining about a 2 to 3 point lead so far in this first set. Huskies setter Calder Smitten called on the net, trying to handle that tight ball. Point Rustlers. Another tight pass. And the Huskies can't convert. We have the Rustlers tying that game up at 16-16. pass by Enns, finding that middle, blocked by the Rustlers. Deep off-speed shot by Enns. Exchanging some off-speed shots here. Big swing out of the back row, goes long from Fenric. Point Huskies. Another combo play run by the Rustlers. Dug, but then turned into an overpass and scored by Lennon Mari. Point Rustlers. Good pass by Kruger Kennedy, keeping the Huskies in system. And a big swing out of the right side by Enns scores for the Huskies, keeping them ahead. Very tight first set of action here. We're at 18-17 Huskies with Enns to serve. Serve keeping the Rustlers out of system. Off-speed shot from Mari, dug by the Huskies. Bit of scramble play at the net. And a bit of a misconnection there out of the middle. Ball goes wide, point Huskies. Enns putting some more pace on that ball. Tight pass managed by Rustlers. Free ball sent over. Little bit of a late block there from the Rustlers. Manages to catch the Huskies by surprise. Fenric with the stuff block, and the point goes to the Rustlers, keeping that score really close as we get into the final few points of the match. Huskies out of system. Big block by the Rustlers again, back-to-back points. And we're tied back up at 19-19. Huskies taking a moment to regroup in between serves. And that spin serve goes long, point Huskies. Good smart play by Zach Brochu, finding the seam in that block and punching it through. Point Rustlers. Aggressive serve handled well. Great tip by Kruger Kennedy to score on that ball, finding some open court. We've got a substitution here for the Huskies. Solomon Suderman coming in to serve for Cohen Cornelius. Good block by Witt, but the Rustlers recover the ball. And Witt manages to find the floor. Point Huskies. And that ball goes into the net. Point Rustlers. good pass by the Huskies, keeping those blockers honest as they are able to run that middle. Point scored by Witt again, making his presence felt in the front row. Another short serve by Kruger Kennedy, overpass. Got some scramble here and a little bit of miscommunication as no one goes for that third contact on the Rustlers' side. And we have our first timeout of the game. Rustlers calling a timeout, down 24-21 in the first set. Lots of back and forth here in the first set, but Huskies finding a little bit of a rhythm, staying in system, and able to find their middle a little more frequently than they were able to in the first half of this first set. Huskies to serve after the timeout here. We are at match point. Rustlers electing to pass with 4 players. Trying a bit of a switch up, but unfortunately that is an ace. Huskies coming out strong after that timeout, winning the first set 25-21. And we're back here in the second set of a gold medal match for the 16U boys provincial championship. Huskies taking that first set. We've got the same lineup in the game for both sides. Middle blocker, Brody Shukin, to start us off. Nice cross-court swing dug by the Huskies. Great pickup by Lennon Mari in the back row. And a block by Zach Baroshu. Point Rustlers. Coming out of the gate with a little bit of momentum. Beckett Rogers to serve. Back row ball scored by Enns. Point right back to the Huskies. Starting us off tied at 1-1. Overpass off the head of the setter. Back over, and then hit long by the Huskies. Oh, and we've got a touch on that ball. Point will actually be going to the Huskies. Right side, Cohen Cornelius to serve again. Big swing by Caden Fenrick, scoring from the right side. He'll head back to serve now. Huskies find their middle but are blocked by the Rustlers. Swing to the deep corner is long. That ball goes to the Rustlers. 3-2 for the Rustlers. Huskies find their middle. Rio Witt again continues to place that ball in scoring positions out of the middle. Point Huskies. Rustlers have trouble with that serve. And that will be an ace for Garnet Kruger Kennedy. Kruger Kennedy has been putting that ball over that screen consistently for the Huskies. Smart choice by Berneuf for the Rustlers, but puts it a little bit wide, recognizing there's a double block on the play. But puts a little bit too much on it there. Point goes to the Huskies again. Rustlers out of system. Back row ball blocked by the combination of Witt and Enns. Point Huskies. And coach Josh Ryan calling an early timeout as his team is down 6-3. The opening points of this second set. Quick timeout here for the Rustlers as they're already ready to hop back into the action. Kennedy will get us going after the timeout here. A little bit of a tight pass, but picked up by the Rustlers. Big back row swing by Mari. Off the block and down. That point is for the Rustlers. Number 4, Zach Broshute to serve. Big block by the Rustlers. Back to Enns again, who elects for an off-speed shot and puts that one away. Point Huskies. Good pass by the Rustlers. Inside ball tipped and picked up over on one. Another tip by the Rustlers. This one manages to score. Point Rustlers. And we've got a serving sub into the game here, number 6 for the Rustlers. Big swing, but even bigger block by setter Drew Rowan. Point Rustlers. Rustlers finding a bit of momentum here, keeping that game close. 6 serving 7. Block from the Rustlers. Back-to-back blocks. Back row ball goes a little bit long, so we will be tied up at 7-7 in the second set of our gold medal match. Cross-court swing goes wide. Couple attack errors gives the Rustlers the lead. And that swing by Enns will be in. Huskies bounce back and tie it up at 8-8. Good pass by the Rustlers. Aggressive tip down the line dug by the Huskies. And a setter dump on 2. Scored by Drew Rowan as he heads back to serve. 9 serving 8. Excellent block by the Rustlers, recognizing that long 30-set ball. As they take a 2-point lead here, 10-8. Rowan to serve again. That one goes just wide. And that will also be a service error, so that point will go right back to the Rustlers. We've got Solomon Suderman coming in for the Huskies. Big serve by Maury, handled by the Huskies. And Kruger Kennedy converts with the off-speed cross-court shot, putting that ball in an excellent spot. Some miscommunication there on that second ball ties us back up at 11-11. A lot of back and forth here early in this second set. Shukin to serve again. Okay, out of system ball, tipped over by the Rustlers. Find their middle and blocked by the Rustlers. Some scramble at the net. Several digs, but Caden Fenrick manages to put away the overpass. Point Rustlers. Great pass by the Huskies to find their middle again. That ball is in. Point Huskies. Got a free ball going back for the Huskies after an aggressive serve. Finding their middle again. This one blocked. And that dig will be called a carry. Point Rustlers. Fenrick heads back to the line. Great serve keeps the Huskies out of system. Off-speed shot dug well by the Rustlers. That will be a tip put straight back down. Huskies take that ball. We've got 2 substitutions coming in for the Rustlers. Number 19, Jake Auden. Number 7, Jace Newport are both coming into the game. So we get a double substitution to keep 3 attackers in the front row for the for the Rustlers, pardon. And Newport making his presence felt immediately as he scores that ball. From the left side, point Rustlers, 14-13. Good serve by Brochu. Good pass by the Huskies out to Suderman, who scores that ball off the block. Oh, but it clips him on the way out. Point will go to the Rustlers. And that'll be an ace for Brochu. Rustlers create a 3-point lead, 16-13. as the Huskies take their first time out of the match. Coach Adam Ewert hoping to help his team find a rhythm on the reception line so they can get back to finding that middle and opening up some more options for their offense. Good serve out of the timeout, puts the Huskies in trouble as that ball comes over on 2. A little bit of confusion on that call. Looks like the athlete stepped off the sport court, so that point will go to the Rustlers. Huskies elect to substitute Eli Enns back into the game. Rustlers are up 17-13, their largest lead of the match so far. And that substitution is enough to throw off the rhythm of the Rustlers. That serve will go into the net and point Huskies. Big block by the Huskies. Trying to bounce back and bring some momentum to their side of the court. Number 14, Rio Witt to serve again. Tipped over by the Rustlers. Some scramble at the net, going in the Huskies' favor. Huskies within 1. Witt to serve again. Free ball sent over deep. Catches the Huskies off guard. And that will score. 18-16. That serve is into the net. Point right back to the Huskies. Setter Calder Smitten back to serve. Good serve, catches the end line, point Huskies. And we're tied back up at 18-18. Huskies eliminating that 4-point deficit after a timeout. Another good serve by Smitten, handled well by the Rustlers. And Jace Newport manages to punch that one through the block. Point Rustlers, and we will get the double sub back into the game. Fenrick and Rowan coming back in to keep 3 offensive options in the front row. Good swing, but blocked by the Rustlers. That did go in a little too high, hitting the ceiling. Huskies will take that point. Again tied at 19-19 as we head towards the end of the second set here. Huskies taking that first set, pressure on the Rustlers to take this one. Big swing blocked by the Huskies. And the Huskies will be called on the net. That point will go to the Rustlers. Number 12, Mari to serve. And that spin serve goes long. Point right back to the Huskies. Tied again, 20-20. Tight pass, pulled back by the Rustlers. Deep shot by Brochu, and that will score. Rustlers regain the lead. Middle, Beckett Rogers to serve. Great swing out of the middle by Rio Witt. Nate Pudo will come into the game to serve for the Huskies. Excellent serve. Forces a free ball back over the net. Tipped over by Krunick Kennedy for the point. Huskies now have the lead at 22-21. We're in the final few points of this second set. Huskies within 3 of the gold medal. Free ball over the net. And Calder Smitten finds his middle again. Rio Witt scoring 2 clutch points in the late points of this set here, as we get an acrobatic timeout call by Coach Josh Ryan. (23-21) for the Huskies. The last 2 points have resulted in a free ball going back over the net for the Rustlers. Coach Ryan hoping to spark some offense and settle his team in here as they push to force a third set in this gold medal match. Some clutch serving off the bench by Nate Pudel to give the Huskies a 2-point lead. Quick substitution. We've got Grayson Bernouf back into the game for the Rustlers after that timeout. Pudel to serve for the Huskies. Off-speed shot dug by the Huskies. Dumped over by the setter. Smitten gives the Huskies match point, 24-21. Good pass. Big swing out of the middle by Bernuth coming off the bench. Rustlers extend the game. And number 7, Cohen Cornelius, will come back into the game for the Huskies. We are at 22 serving at 24. Back row ball. Dug well by the Rustlers to find the middle again. Off-speed shot will do it. The Huskies win the 2025 16U Men's Division I gold medal. After a very tight match, back and forth the whole way, first set and second set. Rustlers maintaining a lead for most of the second set, but the Huskies find a way to battle back late and come home with the gold medal, winning 25-22 in the second set.